Can a bitch eat? Can a bitch cook? Everybody's eating it up. Every time I try to do Gen Z slang, it's like the worst. Is everybody in the house with the boots? From The Cut and the Vox Media Podcast Network, this is Tefi Talks. I would like to dedicate today's episode to Miss Mexico, as I've been getting a lot of DMs, more than 2 and less than 4, over the weekend, asking me to talk about what happened at the Miss Universe contest in Thailand last week. At a pre-pageant ceremony, a Thai official reprimanded Miss Mexico, a gorgeous woman by the name of Fatima. I love that name. I love names that are a little scary. And that's coming from Estefania Vanegas Pessoa. But he reprimanded her in front of 75 or so other pageant queens for not promoting the pageant more and posting things, I guess, to social media, whatever. But he calls her out and he says, do not listen to your director of your organization. You should be posting more about this pageant. She tries to interject, and he responds by calling her a dumbhead.
If you follow the order from your national director, you are a dumbhead.
Why not lint liquor at that point? Why not your mama at that point? So Miss Mexico stands up and walked out with what looks like the majority of the other contestants. And he starts calling for security. He goes, security, security, which is like, it's real pussy shit to call security on someone who's already leaving. Like, okay. I just think he's so brave to see a Mexican woman stand up after he calls her a name, because in my experience, I have been cussed out by a Mexican woman in my lifetime. And I guess when he said security, it brought me back to middle school, where the security guard during my lunch hour at GW Carver was a Mexican woman. And she always cussed me out. Esta niña sigue para, because I would always stand up and try to talk to my crushes. Why? Because I had a beeper. Everybody here has a whole weekend to talk to their crush. I have 45 minutes. My best friend, Chloe Hands, she's chilling. She has a cell phone and she doesn't have a family computer where she can talk to Robert Rogers all weekend long. Me, I have to be on Neopets, strictly Neopets, or learning typing through one of those like AOL typing CDs. I have limited time. I have 45 minutes to talk to my crush. You know? So of course I'm standing up. I'm trying to write notes. I'm trying to, I don't know, be a little minx, be a little sensual. You know what I mean? And she was always on my ass. And she would drag me in ways. I will say this. When a Mexican cusses you out, they are so creative. Everyone knows the Mexican people are some of the funniest people in the world. She let me know exactly what I was doing, what was wrong, and how I could do better, with a string of insults that I can only call genius. And you know what else kills me? Is that then I would get lunch table duty, which means close your eyes. You can smell the lunch table rag if I asked you to, right? The bleach. It's a little sweet. It's a little sour smelling. I don't know what's in it. And she would make me wipe down the tables all the fucking time. And then I'd wonder why my crushes wouldn't want to talk to me. I smell like a lunch table. All Miss Mexico had to say after the incident was that she had nothing but love and respect for Thailand. She is better than me, bitch. Because this is what I would say. And when you see me in the parking lot, standing by your car, you should be scared. Mal parido. If you're watching the show on YouTube, I'm going to give you a few seconds to press subscribe while I do some important work I've been meaning to do. Gotta get better at that. Okay. At Tefi Talks, we like to talk about showbiz. Show business, baby. Because there's no business like business that isn't mine. Today, we're going to be talking about my personal life, my first real heartbreak. And if it's affected me to this day, I have no doubt. But first, let's get into some headlines. Jonathan Bailey is People Magazine's Sexiest Man Alive. He admitted that the title feels, quote, completely absurd, showing a mix of gratitude and humility. Since his breakout role in Bridgerton, Jonathan attributes his rise through diverse film and TV roles to his years of acting and the relationships he's built both on and off screen. Yeah. Diverse film and TV roles. There's no way anybody looks at that man and they think, not sexy. Not sexy. You're joking. Hello? Did you see the sunrise pictures in People magazine? Are you fucking crazy? I'm gonna tell you one thing. I better not see him at a gay club. Because what? Your girl is looking for a DONOR. Yeah, I have to spell it out like you would a dog, WALK, because she's looking. She's looking. If I saw him, imagine this. You see Jonathan Bailey, mesh tank, whatever. Club lights. You hear Fantasia. I fucking love Fantasia. Don't make that face. I fucking love Fantasia. If I hear Fantasia in the club, which I've only had that experience once or twice in my life, and that's how I knew I was at a good gay club. Imagine me dancing to Fantasia at the club, ready? I see Jonathan. Oh my God, hi. I go, holy fuck. That guy would look amazing at golden hour. I walk up to him. I'm trying to be cool, casual. I'm dancing sensually, which everyone knows means a rolling of the shoulder. So it's like this. Hey, yes, diva, go, fuck. Yeah, you're a really good dancer. Have you always been? That's crazy. Do you have a history of mental illness? Any diabetes? Yes. Do you like family? Do you want to be part of mine? God, I love this fucking song. That's me. No, I'm like this. No, really, are you looking to expand your family? Don't ignore that growl. It's just my uterus. Congratulations, Jonathan. And congratulations to us. David Beckham has been knighted by, every time it pains me to say King Charles, by King Charles III, honoring decades of David's achievements in sports and philanthropy. So now he's known as Sir David Beckham with his wife, Lady Victoria Beckham. And the title marks a proud new chapter celebrating his legacy both on and off the field. Let's be real here. I try to talk about Victoria Beckham every single episode. And again, I am victorious. I am so happy for David. Yeah, I'm so happy. But most of all, have you seen the picture she posted on Instagram? My bitch is eating. This is me seeing Victoria Beckham at a gay club. No, okay. I'm just kidding. I want to say this about David and Victoria. I always appreciate when hot couples know that they're hot. I never appreciate couples that are not hot and think that they're so fucking hot. So I'm really, really happy to see them be knighted. We need more hot knighted people. However, I am a wee bit annoyed, which is English for a little. I am a little annoyed that they're hanging out with Charles more than they ever have with me. Tefi, yes? What would you and David and Victoria even do together? I'm so glad you asked. I've been thinking about this for nearly a decade. We're in their backyard patio. They've got the most beautiful outdoor furniture you've ever seen, okay? I sit down in the chair, I go, this is nice. Charcuterie, wine. We are laughing so hard. I'm holding onto my ribs. His little chicken coop in the background, clucking, because they're so happy and so grateful to be around such generous energy. Imagine this. We're at a table. David, Victoria, me, Charles. I obviously owe someone a lot of money. We've had 5 wines. I've told everyone at the table about my dad. It is what it is. Okay? You and I both know we'd be like, oh, we're a little worried about a poopy diaper. Okay? No one's ever had 5 wines with me and thought, I wonder if Tefi shit herself. Let me tell you this. That's one lunch table. I don't care how many times I bring out my beeper. That's one lunch table I'm not wiping down. I'm sitting next to Charles. Is that a lunch rag or does he just smell like that? Now to talk about Kim Kardashian. No, wait. Critics are panning Kim Kardashian's new Hulu show, All's Fair, giving it a rare 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, labeling it one of television's biggest flops. The Guardian's Lucy Mangan called it fascinatingly, incomprehensibly, existentially terrible, while the Times' Ben Dowell said it was maybe the worst TV drama ever. Why do I imagine them wearing their Yeezys in front of their family computer in the basement like this? I think, and she's stinky poo poo. They're like, I gotta change my diaper soon. You know, that's how I imagine them. I imagine every time that they feel stressed out, they click their Yeezys together. Please, I gotta go home, I gotta go. Shut the fuck up. And also, whenever I see a bad review, I think, this is genius. It's the only way to get me to watch a new television show. Everyone says they want a smart show. I'm so sick of it. Everyone says they want a smart show on TV. Where are the smart shows? They want to be intellectually stimulated. But then, y'all don't watch Frasier. Easily one of the best shows to ever hit television. Not even on television, to ever hit television, okay? Besides King of the Hill. And I think King of the Hill is better because at least you don't have to look at Kelsey Grammer for an hour. Hear me now. If I say, what about when you attacked Gwyneth? My friend, Gwyneth Paltrow, you know where that's from. You know what I'm quoting. Don't you? If you're not watching Real Housewives of New York, you need to pause All's Fair and invest in culture. You're not a chef, you're a cook. Are you kidding me? Real Housewives of New York has been feeding us for decades. Decades? Yeah, fuck it, decades. Speaking of Real Housewives, I would have never watched Frasier if it wasn't for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills because what? Camille Grammer, who was cheated on by Kelsey Grammer, who what? Is straight in Frasier, if you can believe it. Those scarves. Every time he's like, in the show when he's like, I'm in love with a girl. I'm like, girl? You got a sailor's knot on you. You got an ascot on, huh? The only straight man I ever saw wear an ascot is like a cartoon mouse and Hugh Hefner. Let's move on, shall we? I see the comments griping about how I never ever talk about my personal life. I never let you in. I never talk about what's going on in my life or the boudoir. So, I've got something for you. My first heartbreak ever. Gwen Stefani and Gavin Rossdale breaking up. We're going to do it. I'm here to deliver a deep dive on the breakup that shook my boudoir walls with tears. In 1995, Gwen Stefani and Gavin Rossdale met when her band, No Doubt, opened for his band, Bush and the Goo Goo Dolls. At the time, a newly single Gwen had just broken up with her bandmate and first boyfriend, Tony, who you know from I Know It's Cool music video. Yes, and everything else that they've ever done because he was in the band. Tony and Gwen started dating when they were 18 and formed No Doubt. But it took a few years before their music broke through to the mainstream. In fact, the song that landed the group on the charts was Don't Speak. I won't. I can. I know what you're thinking. I can't go on. Please don't start explaining. Okay. So this song, Don't Speak, is the song about Gwen and Tony's breakup. Imagine then having to sing this song about the most, impactful breakup of your life all the time now, because now you're on the charts with the guy you're singing about behind you. Crazy. Every time I played Rock Band with my siblings, no worries, my brother does guitar on expert mode behind his head. The Pessoa clan are full of talents, okay? And also, don't worry. My mom always said it was annoying because she was scared that we were going to start a band, which is an immigrant parent's nightmare. And we slayed. Wait. They don't love you like I love you. But I always embodied No Doubt because I would watch their tour videos from when they were teenagers and they were the band that slept in the van. But let me tell you this. If I was a teenager with my boyfriend in a band and we got to go to a motel, I'd throw my beeper like old women do with salt over my left shoulder. Bye-bye. So Gavin and Gwen got together shortly after Tony and Gwen split up, right? She tells Howard Stern, who I call a virus in human form, similar to the virus in Osmosis Jones. I think he's a terrible, terrible person and he should have zero airtime. Remember when he told Anna Nicole Smith to weigh herself on a scale on live radio? Go fuck yourself. She tells Howard Stern this. I was in quite a rebellious place because I was feeling really rejected. Somehow he got my phone number and that was that. He stalked me, I think. Gavin's recollection of events differed slightly from Gwen's memory. Instead of asking Gwen out, he threw a party in hopes of her attending. The Great Gatsby is the blueprint for every like dork-ass loser bitch boyfriend. Did you flash the green light over the canal or whatever the fuck? Whatever. So for the majority of the first 5 years of them being together, they were both on tour. I always say when two people are on tour, they're not like living real life. Like when my brother, my sister, and I, we were doing the tour on Rock Band, I'm like, guys, we gotta focus here. We gotta leave our personal shit behind, and it's easy to like romanticize. That makes it sound like I wanna fuck my siblings. I did not romanticize my siblings, but I did romanticize fame. So Gwen remembers writing, you really love me underneath it all. That was when she was in her reggae phase. She says, the day before we went over there, I was in the park with Gavin. So she writes this song, right? I was in the park with Gavin and I had been keeping a journal. We were so in love and I wrote that line, you're lovely underneath it all. You know, like after all the shit we've been through, you're a really good person. I think I might really like you. That's a lyric. And that was inspired by sitting at the park with Gavin, being so in love, writing in her journal. Gwen admitted to Rolling Stone that she had some doubt about Gavin. And you would think she wouldn't have. No doubt at all. Can you ever know that one person is the one? I'm always questioning that. I think we both question that. You know, in relationships, when I look back, I'm like, I'm okay if I'm questioning it, but like the person I'm with should never. You know what I mean? Like if I say like, oh, I don't want to get married, and the person's like, I agree. What? Turns out they did think the other was the one though, because Gavin proposed on New Year's Day in 2002. I hate when relationship stuff lands on a holiday, because now if it doesn't work out, what the fuck do you think I'm thinking about on New Year's? So this was also a long time coming. In 2001, Gwen was dropping songs like Marry Me and Don't Let Me Down. If my partner is releasing songs called Marry Me and Don't Let Me Down, yeah, Zales is going to have to see me. Although, not without doubt. In Marry Me, she said, I want to cook him dinner, but I'm more indecisive than ever. Who will be the one to marry me? The lyrics of Don't Let Me Down are also kind of damning for him. Quote, oh, I can't believe that you're still around. I almost forgot how you let me down. Oof. Crying so deep that I think I might die. Your mistakes I keep in the back of my mind. So hard to let go, but I'm coming round. The scars are still fragile. Don't let me down. I just imagine Gavin being with like the producers and stuff, like sitting in the studio, like watching her record this as like boyfriends do. Like watching her, looking around, being like at the audio engineer. Wow, this Tony guy must have been a real piece of shit. Ugh, this Tony guy must have been really bad, huh? So at this point, they have been together, Gavin and Gwen, for nearly 7 years. Tony and Gwen were also together for almost 7 years. So I can see why Gwen is starting to get that like itch, like either make or break. This is the last time. She's got that 7-year trauma, you know what I mean? These two little rock stars tied the knot in 2002 at St. Paul's Church in London. Gwen was 32, Gavin's 34. And this is the wedding dress that rocked the nation, if not the world. To this day, every bride that I know is like, should I do a pink dress? And I know what they're referring to. That dress was everywhere. I know when it's my time to walk down the aisle and I have a pink dress, I know I will not slay nearly half of what Gwen slayed that day. And I'm saying that for the Gen Zs in the audience. Did I do okay saying that? There's a Gen Z in the office that said, thank you. So Gwen always really wanted kids. In the year 2000, after 4 years of dating Gavin, she made a video for No Doubt's Simple Kind of Life. Iconic. Tragic Kingdom is a no-skip album. Listen to it today. So, in Simple Kind of Life, she runs wild in a wedding dress while singing, I always thought I'd be a mom. Sometimes I wish for a mistake. Ugh. Ugh. Quote, at a certain point, I'm going to want to have a family. And I'm not going to have time to be running around the world doing this shit and being greedy. I can always write songs I can at home. She says it to The Guardian in 2004. She's been letting us know for years that she wants to be a trad wife. Today. She's like, I want to be a trad wife tomorrow. If I get knocked up, you bitches may never see or hear from me again. That same year, a paternity test comes out that Gavin fathered a child in 1989. He didn't know, but Gwen and Gavin found out about his kid together. Gwen was said by her friends to be, quote, devastated, as per People magazine. So his then 15-year-old's mom was the singer and designer Pearl Lowe, and this for sure fucked up Gwen. It's not confirmed, but I don't know, as a girl who has been in relationships, imagining getting that phone call, by the way, you're a dad, when I'm dying to be a mom at this point in my life, you know what I mean? It would rock my shit. And it's also putting Gwen in a position where you can't be crazy about this because it happened 15 years ago, you know? Even though you're finding about it right now. If you've ever been in that position where someone tells you something that happened 10 years ago and they're like, it happened a long time ago, like, why are you upset? For you, 10 years. For me, 10 minutes ago. So I'll knock all this shit over. Dumbhead. So Gavin and Gwen welcomed their first child together in 2006, a boy named Kingston James McGregor Rossdale, and Gwen was 37 at this time. She announces her pregnancy on stage, asking the crowd to sing loud enough for the baby to hear it. Crazy to think that that kid may be a Republican today. The family had 2 more sons in 2008 and 2014, Zuma Nesta Rock Rossdale and Apollo Bowie Flynn Rossdale. You cannot tell me that these kids' names don't sound like smart thermostats. You know what I'm talking about? Like, hey, Zuma Nesta, can you please make a 2 p.m. appointment on the 7th with my dentist? Come on. You see it. You hear it. You hear it. Oh my, why isn't Apollo Bowie opening for me? Is your Apollo Bowie opening for you? It keeps stalling. Please. But I named my cat Marjorie Jolie. Who am I? I can't speak. Mind you, she's gorgeous. Show them a photo. Yeah, she has my eyes and her nasty attitude. Okay. During this time, Gwen went on her Sweet Escape tour, launched a clothing line, LAMB, and called her relationship, quote, one of those mad love affairs that you can't live with and you can't live without. You just have to keep going and going, which is crazy. I say that about my antacids. So, but the ship was far from steady. Gavin reveals in 2010, in an interview, that he dated men in the past. Bisexual king! Fly the bi flag behind me. And let's try one more. Firework. Firework, firework. No? Firework. Yes. Okay, being bi isn't that big of a deal, I understand, but this is 2010. And according to the Daily News, Gwen did not know this. Es que ese tipo, ¿qué clase de come mierda? Es el colmo. Hey girl, if you're gonna tell everyone that you used to fuck men, could you let me know first? I wanna. Hey, Zuma Nesta, could you please remind my husband to let me know first that he's bisexual before letting everybody else know? Thank you. That same year, Courtney Love went on Howard Stern and said that she and Gavin slept together when he was with Gwen, which is so fucking shitty. And Courtney Love has done so many shitty things, yes. Even before that, Gwen and Courtney had beef. In 2004, Courtney Love says, quote, this is 2004, right? This is like prime Gwen Stefani stardom. I'm not interested in being Gwen Stefani. She's a cheerleader, and I'm out in the smoker shed, and plenty of you are out there in the smoker shed too. When it comes to rock and roll, it's just like high school. So Gwen writes, holla back girl, to clap back at Courtney. And if you remember the video, they are cheerleaders. And you know what? Say what you want about Courtney Love, but she has called some things out that later proved to be true. Like now we look at Gwen Stefani and it's like, like, fuck, I think she was right. And Courtney Love is the first person I ever heard talk about Harvey Weinstein.
Yuck!
So she says this about Gwen Stefani in 2004. In 2005, I'm watching the news. And this one, Courtney Love was trying to be like an actress. She was trying to like clean up her act. And a reporter asked her, do you have any advice for up-and-coming actresses? And in 2005, she said, she says, I'm going to get blacklisted for this, but don't go to Harvey Weinstein's private parties or his hotel room. She said that, and they did blacklist her. You know? So say what you want, but sometimes she does cook a bit. She does cook a bit. And I hate saying Courtney Love was right. I hate it. In early 2015, Gwen Stefani tells Cosmopolitan that she and Gavin had been through so much as a couple that it's, quote, a miracle that they stayed together for as long as they have. Well, yeah, girl. If my man had also been allegedly fucking men and Courtney Love, it'd be a miracle. Yeah, I say the same. The ship is indeed rocky. After 2 decades together, 20 years together, and 13 years of marriage, Gwen Stefani files for divorce from Gavin. August 2015, citing irreconcilable differences, to which I take to MySpace, maybe a Facebook status, and I say, perhaps these differences are reconcilable. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. At Gwen Stefani fan page, at Gavin Rossdale, don't do this to me. In a joint statement, they say this: while the two of us have come to the mutual decision that we will no longer be partners in marriage, we remain partners in parenthood and are committed to jointly raising our 3 sons in a happy and healthy environment. Right. At the time of their divorce, Gwen accused Gavin of adultery, and it was alleged that Gavin had a 3-year affair with Mindy Mann. Tefi, who's Mindy Mann? The fucking nanny, bro. This 3-year affair overlaps from when Gwen was pregnant with their 2nd son. These British men allegedly love fucking the nanny. David Beckham, allegedly. Jude Law, allegedly. Gavin, probably bitch. And allegedly, probably. Gwen allegedly found explicit photos on the family iPad from their employee to her husband. Quote, the iPad was linked to Gavin's phone. An insider, who I always think is Kris Jenner, but it's not, told Us Weekly. One of the other nannies discovered the exchange and told Gwen, one thing about me, bitch, is I love a snitch. When I think about someone snitching on a man, I like levitate a little. On an episode of Amy Robach and TJ Holmes, who, if those names sound familiar, they are those 2 anchors that had an affair. Yeah, girl. So they have a podcast. And I would say they are cheating experts, allegedly. No, that's confirmed. Fuck it. Cheating experts, Amy Robach and TJ Holmes, go fuck yourself, had Gavin on, and Gavin said that he'd never thought he'd get divorced. Of course not. And called it his, quote, clearest, simplest shame. How dare you make that chic and classy and romantic? How dare you? Ugh, you disgust me. A little. In November 2015, Gwen Stefani released an album. She says this about the album: I would consider it a breakup record. I only had 2 boyfriends. I wrote 2 records about them. You know what I mean? It's just weird. It makes me believe in God and my journey. My cross to bear was to go through these heartbreaks and write these songs and help people. Y'all, when she said the words God and cross, I felt it. I knew it was coming. I knew it. I knew it was just beyond the horizon. Like, it's just insane to me. Never in my wildest dreams did I think that the girl that made me be proud to be weird and sensitive and taught me how to spell banana. It can get confusing. It's a bit repetitive. And the girl that I tried to fuck up my teeth for so we can get matching braces rubber bands, the colorway of it all, would marry a country star and join a prayer app founded by Mark Wahlberg. How the mighty have fallen. How did this happen? Baby, I don't know. Well, maybe I have a little of an idea. Let's talk about what was in the stars when Gwen and Gavin broke up, even though we know he was definitely in the nanny, allegedly. After this break. Okay, hear me out. You know how every year you're like, I want to give gifts that are thoughtful, tasteful, actually useful. Yeah, me too. Here is your answer. Give a subscription to The Cut. The Cut covers it all. Your career, relationships, style, skincare routines, delivering signature columns. I hear that Tefi Talks has an incredible advice column, huh? Thought-provoking journalism, personal essays that sharpen your ideas and always end up in your group chat. Plus, a subscription unlocks everything across New York Magazine, from Vulture to The Strategist and beyond. And honestly, for the sake of self-care, get a subscription for yourself too. Right now, get $20 off annual subscriptions at thecut.com/gift and thank me later. Let's set the scene. I'm 25 years old. A receptionist. A bad one. The Weeknd is going to the Kids' Choice Awards, singing about cocaine. Snapchat introduces filters. Blake Shelton and Miranda Lambert broke up that same year. I want to break down some key astrological movements in August 2015. Jupiter entered Virgo, the planet of luck and expansion. What does it mean that it moves into Virgo? This shifts our focus towards areas of health, daily routines, and work life. Meaning, if your relationship gets in the way of, I don't know, you're sleeping and eating and peace of mind because of emotional torture and you're married to a whore, and I can see this becoming a real problem. And I say this as someone who has enjoyed a whorish man once or twice in their lifetime. Who's to know? It's in the past. I can barely recall. Saturn then goes direct. What does that mean? Saturn is the planet of discipline and rules. And this planet of discipline and rules moves into Scorpio, which reveals secrets. So maybe someone who's been fucking the nanny should have signed out of the family iPad. Then Venus retrogrades into Leo. Means moving backwards, right? And Venus, the planet of love, money. It affects relationships and finances. And this was considered a time for making necessary repairs in all relationships. And sometimes these repairs are just breakups. Then, hold tight, there's a full moon in Pisces. Very emotional, a lot of nostalgia, regrets, emotional detoxification. You know what I mean? I think of like when you have the blackhead strip and you rip it off and it's all those like little spikes, you know what I mean? That's like a full moon in Pisces. It's all coming out. This Jupiter-Saturn square on August 3rd of 2015 was a significant aspect that forced a confrontation with responsibilities and societal challenges. That's something to think about. And me, being delusional, I think that's the day that Gwen Stefani learned more. I think that she was willing to forgive, but then she found out one more thing and she said, this is a straw meeting camel and it's back kaput. Kaput. Okay? Thank you. And now, can I be a bitch for a second? Fuck. Everyone loves the fall. Oh my God, because I think of the foliage and the lack of humidity. And as a millennial, like, I get it. We're all thinking about Stars Hollow, okay? But not I. This is the season of purses falling off your fucking jacket shoulder like it's paid to do it. You're telling me we got Gail and Katie in space, but we can't come up with a jacket or purse that stays on the shoulder. We complain about summer. It's so sweaty, so sweaty, so sweaty. Yeah, but I cannot recall one moment in the summer where I have to readjust my bag over and over. Even the little hipsters walking around Brooklyn, I can see them in their messenger bags full of bushels of apples and tobacco, just struggling, okay? Is this not a time when we can come together and agree that this shit fucking sucks? And then I tell people, and they're like, well, what about that little button on your jacket? Oh, so you want me to look like a fucking nerd? Fuck you. Also, the blow dry soldiers, stand up. Blow dryers. There's dozens of us. We love the fall because our blow dry stays in. Shut the fuck up. That jacket doesn't give you insane static. During the fall, I look in the mirror and I'm like, is it just me? It could be the jacket, or is lightning about to strike every one of us in this 24-hour fitness? Fuck off. So what did we learn on this episode? I'm going to the gay club with a turkey baster. Anybody? Google King Charles's fingers. I'm just saying. We didn't learn that on this episode, but I think it's just something you should learn on your own. And I miss the old Gwen, not the new Gwen. Well, if you're not already following the show, find us everywhere at Tefi Talks. Subscribe on YouTube and all the podcast platforms, and Instagram and TikTok so you can share with your other work bestie. Ew! Tefi Talks is produced by the Vox Media Podcast Network and The Cut. For a special discount on New York Magazine and The Cut, visit nymag.com/Tefi.